Just when I thought I couldn't possibly live in a smaller space, it happened. This is my room. I'm about to give you a tour, and this was the best possible position that I could be in because there aren't many options right now. If you guys watched my last video or my last room tour, I talk about how it's important to organize your things depending on how you move throughout your room. So for instance, I would have my keys by the door, I would have my shoes closer to the door versus closer to the bed, etc. But with this room, being that it's smaller, I had fewer options to organize it according to how I move about the room. With this space, I decided to focus more on where I could store all my things. Luckily, I have a closet in this room, so it was such a big relief. I also have storage under my bed versus before there was a trundle. Keep in mind that I went from a full apartment, one-bedroom apartment in North Carolina, to having to reduce my life into a small bedroom. So I still have my pots and pans, I still have a full set of dishes, and then obviously my personal belongings. And I've even reduced my personal belongings, and I still feel like I have a lot of stuff. But the challenge with this room is that the closet is big enough to fit my clothes, my laundry basket, and a small suitcase. So I still have a box of dishes and a bin full of my pots and pans, which I use for content. But the good news is most of my bulky items and other things do fit under my bed. Obviously the bed is self-explanatory. I did cut down on the amount of pillows that I have. There is my work area. I added this shelf mainly because of my plant. I have 2 plants, and this one needs a good amount of sun. So there's obviously nowhere else to put it. I need the desk space. I decided to put a shelf up, put my books, some of my artwork. So I'm really, really happy with how the shelf came out. I absolutely love this area, and it's still very minimalistic, right by the window, so there's good lighting. Love it, love it. So this here is the work area, and I feel like a giant in this room, to be honest. I have to be really careful not to bump into things, like just a little movement. I can bump into the wall, bump into the shelves. It's crazy. And I'm only 5'2", so I can't imagine anyone bigger than that living in this room. Yeah. So right here next to me is the closet. So here's all my clothes. I hung up as much of the, nicer items as I could, just to save space, obviously, so that I could use the bottom. And then my sheets, extra towels, my puffy jacket is up there. And then I decided to get this unit here for my underwear, and then I have extra shelving. I didn't want to get the plastic organizer because then I'd have to use up space at the bottom. And this is a good example. This room is a good example of building up instead of building around and using more floor space. So I love this shelf so much. It does the job. Then I have my workout shirts and t-shirts, shorts, and then thicker pajamas, and then underwear. Yeah. And then I have my laundry basket down there, and again the suitcase has my more bulky items that I don't use often, like my neck massager. I don't know if you guys remember, if you watched my first room tour, I had a dresser drawer, which I used as a vanity as well. It had all my skin products and things for my face routine. I don't have that. Originally, I was gonna have a little console. Unfortunately, when I actually moved in, I saw that the space was smaller than I thought. Console would have taken even more space up. And then have to place this table under my bed because I wouldn't use it. So I was like, how can I still have my products that I use often out and have easy access to have my little black table for my jewelry, have a little cute setup, and then use this wall to build some shelves and organize everything. And so I have my makeup, my skincare stuff, and then I have my supplements. Works out perfectly. I absolutely love this. So this here is my little beauty station. Obviously, keeping the room white will help open up the space better. Easy to decorate with, easy to organize, and your stuff will always match. So that's why I decided to keep the room white as well. In a way, I'm still able to organize everything and have individualized stations, which is really cool for such a small room. And then I have a mirror coming. I'm gonna have a black mirror right here, and it'll be my little, little getting ready station. And then under my bed, I have 2 plastic drawers. It's so convenient with the drawers instead of having bins with tops on them and having to take out the whole bin just to access things. So I'm really happy I found the underbed storage drawers. So I highly recommend those if you're going to use your bed as storage. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually really like this room more than the last room because it just fits my style more. The other bed had the frame that I wasn't really a big fan of, and then the yellow chair, it was, it kind of doesn't fit my neutral color palette that I love. So this room definitely feels more like me. And also the other room was lavender. This room is white, just the way I like it. That is my room tour. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which room did you like better? Do you have any suggestions on how I should store things better? Let me know. But overall, I had a lot of fun organizing and decorating this small space. And the cool thing about minimalist style as well is that it's not that hard to do. And that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on how to live more intentionally. And I'll see you guys later.